Graduates and guests, welcome to SMU's 2026 All-University Commencement. This is a special day for our graduates, their families, and their friends, an important day for the university community as we gather to celebrate the success of our graduates. We are pleased that you are joining us in Gerald J. Ford Stadium and online around the globe to recognize the achievements of those honored today. Your health and safety are important to us. Please keep aisles and exits clear at all times. In the event of an emergency, contact an usher or event staff member who can be found throughout the stadium. Should an emergency occur, please remain calm and listen carefully to our public announcements. Please take a moment to locate the exit that is nearest to you. Please note, there is no smoking in any SMU facility. The procession will begin in approximately 15 minutes at 7 p.m. You will see colorful regalia and many of SMU's academic symbols during the procession. Highlights include the Lauren Lambier Howard Lantern and the University Mace. For more information about these important symbols, see page 46 in your commencement program. Congratulations to this year's standard bearers, students honored by their schools based on high academic achievement. The standard bearers for 2026 are, for Dedman College of Humanities and Sciences, Noel Carpenter, Zoe Gerwitz, Anika Kelly, Andrei Perlov Harden, Shira Sidhav, Tess Alexandra Livingston Stanford. For Meadows School of the Arts, Xander Crowns and Zoe Gerwitz. For Edwin L. Cox School of Business, Miles Chen, Joseph Ferrente, Julianne Garin Flynn, Andre Nicholas Parlov Harden, Hannah Ann Hawk, Anika Kelly, Alden Clem, Zachary Lubar, Zena Maha, Mega Reddy, Nathaniel Van Slyke, Owen Whitman, and Sarah Wiersky. For Bobby B. Lyle School of Engineering, Miles Chen, Julian Gayin Flynn, Anika Kelly, Mark Pham, and Gage Truelson. For Annette Caldwell Simmons School of Education and Human Development, Elena Masunas and Melanie Verde. For Perkins School of Theology, Diane Carlson, Richard Dudley, and Victoria Lee Jones. For Dedman School of Law, Jason McKinley. For Guildhall at SMU, Alex Maddox. For Moody School of Graduate and Advanced Studies, Filippo Bodo, Angelica Martinez, and Colin Yarbrough. As we continue our preparations, please enjoy the music and pre-show.
then SMU fanfare will probably follow them. Even if it's not quite 7 o'clock, we'll pause until something. Okay?
and me both. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, SMU is pleased to present the 2026 May candidates for graduation. Leading off today's procession is Chief Marshal Thomas Osang. Chief Marshal Osang is carrying the Bradley Kent Carter baton and will summon the candidates to begin our commencement ceremony. Today, we remember Bradley Kent Carter as a dedicated professor of political science at the university who served as its chief marshal for nearly 20 years. He received the M Award, SMU's most prestigious honor. Please join with me and give applause in welcoming the May 2026 candidates.
seats up to be filled all the way to the back. Ready? Fanfare will be next. Fanfare followed by standard sequence. Is there any talking? Yeah. Fanfare, then talking, and standard sequence. Have you seen him? Has he seen the Hartzell?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome members of SMU's class of 1976, led by reunion marshals Eli Olenek and Barbara Kincaid. The class of 1976 is celebrating its 50-year reunion this weekend in Dallas. These special people are SMU's newest Golden Mustangs. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting representatives of the faculties of SMU, led by Heather Deshawn, the faculty marshal. Please rise and join with me and applaud and welcome your faculty.
SMU fanfare and crown imperial. And I'm going to go slow on crown imperial. Ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the platform party for today's celebration and the president of SMU, Jay Hartzell. The platform party is led by the student representative of the SMU Board of Trustees, Caroline Pierce, carrying the SMU banner. The Howard Lantern is carried today by Will Leathers, president of the student body. Preceding President Hartzell is SMU's ceremonial mace, carried by Ann Lincoln, president of the SMU Faculty Senate. Please remain standing and join with me in your applause in welcoming the platform party.
Indeed.
Mustangs. I am Jay Hartzell, President of SMU. I'll try it again. Good evening, Mustangs. I'm Jay Hartzell, President of SMU. It is my great honor to welcome everyone to the university's 2026 May commencement. From what I've been told, this is the largest ceremony in SMU's 115-year history. And we're so glad you're here. I know we're going to have several times tonight to be able to cheer and to celebrate these exceptional graduates, maybe even a standing ovation or two. But just to get things started, here in this stadium that was built for wins and for celebrations, can you all please join me in cheering and applauding the SMU class of 2026? Will the candidates please remain standing, and if the audience could please rise for an invocation given by our chaplain and minister of the university, Lisa Garvin. Following the invocation, please remain standing for our national anthem, led by a class of 2026 candidate for a Master's in Music and Voice Performance, Taylor Hendricks.
Congratulations, class of 2026. Please join me for a moment of prayer. Alpha and Omega, God of beginnings and endings, you are making all things new. We gather to celebrate SMU's class of 2026, their academic discoveries, and the relationships that nurture their souls. From Fondren Library to the Barley House, from Ford Stadium to Bob Hope Theater, and all the places in between. Through joys and sorrows, challenges and successes, these graduates are gifts to this university. They are prepared to faithfully lead wherever they go. Nourished by this community, faculty, staff, and students, be with them now as they offer hope and healing to the world's most pressing needs. With your blessing and with ours. All this we pray with deep gratitude. Let it be so. Amen.
See by the dawn's early light.
Thank you, Chaplain Garvin, and thank you, Taylor. Wow, that was beautiful. This view is amazing. Look around with me for a moment. Tonight, we have gathered graduates, faculty, families, friends, staff, and alumni. If our last count is accurate, we have about 13,000 people here tonight. And this place is built for moments like this. And I think I was supposed to say, please be seated. This place is built for these kinds of moments, for hard-fought wins, for unforgettable memories, and for crowds that rise and cheer as one. And as I look out, I can't help but think about one of those occasions last fall. And like the end of that day, there are no goalposts standing in front of Weber end zone. And this is what it means to be a Mustang. I hope you can feel it. I know I can. We're on a roll as a university, and a huge part of that is because we're doing this together. Together, we share pride in SMU, ambition for our university and for each other, and the unwavering belief that the best is yet to come for our university, for every student who's here graduating tonight, and because of these graduates, for Dallas, for Texas, and for our country. To the parents, families, and friends here with us, and to those watching via live stream, thank you. These graduates made it here thanks to your love, to your sacrifices, to your hope, and to your encouragement. You are a big part of what makes this ceremony and our community so very special. As a sign of our appreciation, I ask that our graduates rise, turn, and applaud the loved ones who played such an important role for your success. Please. You may be seated. That time I remembered. I also want to acknowledge our first generation college graduates. You are trailblazers. In earning your degrees, you opened doors, you charted new paths, and you proved what's possible. We applaud you for your grit, for your courage, and for the example you set, and for those who will follow you. How about a round of applause? And to all our graduates, you worked long and hard to make it to this moment. So many tough exams, so many early morning group projects, so many late night study sessions, and sorry, parents, so many parties. This commencement is filled with pomp and circumstance, but it's not a somber occasion. This is your victory lap, and we are celebrating big. That's why we moved our all-university commencement here in Ford Stadium. We gained thousands of extra seats for our guests by moving outdoors. It means more spirit and it means more energy, more cheers and whistles, more grandmas and grandpas in the audience, and a lot more hugs. And it's all for you, graduates, because you earned it. But of course, you didn't do it alone. You were surrounded by classmates, by faculty, by staff, administrators, supporters from the community, alumni, and our trustees. We all love what we do because of you. Our reward is getting to see what you can achieve. At this time, I want to introduce members of the platform party who are joining us this evening. Please stand and remain standing. Audience, if you would hold your applause until all members have been introduced, and we can do it then. First, our chair of the SMU Board of Trustees, David Miller, Vice Chair Rich Templeton, and all of our members of the SMU Board of Trustees who are with us here tonight. Next, our distinguished deans, who are leading and driving SMU's academic ascent. Next, members of the President's Executive Council and our beloved President Emeritus, R. Gerald Turner. And all remaining members of the platform party who play such key roles in building and sustaining SMU's momentum, if they would please rise. Now, if you would please join me in recognizing these outstanding individuals. Please be seated. I also invite you to welcome the members of the class of 1976, our 50-year reunion class. They're seated here in a place of honor. This year marks the 50th anniversary of their graduation. 50 years ago, they sat where you are. Maybe not exactly, but figuratively. They were ready to make their mark in the world, and they've done so. The Honorable Gene Phillips, Ira Terrell, and Annelle Houghton-Williams, co-chair of the union. Will the co-chairs for the union please stand to be recognized? It is now my honor to invite to the podium the chair of our board, David Miller.
Thank you, President Hartzell, and good evening to everyone. Graduates, families, faculty, staff, and friends of SMU. What a remarkable day this is for the class of 2026 and for this great institution. This celebration in Ford Stadium is a testament to the momentum that's been building across SMU during your time on the hilltop. It's unprecedented. It's a fitting reflection of the extraordinary progress we're making today. I've been connected to this university for almost 6 decades, and I don't think there's been a more exciting time in its history. The class witnessed SMU's rise as a nationally recognized research university. You competed and you cheered our significant athletic successes in the first years as members of the ACC. You experienced that momentum firsthand, and you helped define it. Our ability to succeed rests on the rock-solid foundation built by the leaders and generations who came before you and before us, and strengthened by each new class. You're now part of that incredible legacy. President Hartzell has challenged this university to think even bigger and move even faster. He knows what greatness looks like, and he does, as does the Board of Trustees, that great institutions never stand still. They move forward boldly, they innovate, and they continually rise. And that's exactly what we're doing. Everything we accomplish together is rooted in a simple goal: increasing the value of your degree. Your SMU diploma will open doors for you throughout the rest of your life. And I can tell you more and more people are recognizing the strength of an SMU education. I hear, as I travel across the country, time and time again, there's something really special going on in Dallas, Texas, and at SMU. I've experienced it personally since graduating with my second degree from this institution 55 years ago. SMU's national reputation and reach have grown substantially throughout my lifetime, making the degree that I earned here more and more valuable, just as yours will. Beyond that, SMU changed the trajectory of my life. It gave me opportunities I never would have imagined, lifelong friendships, and made my personal and professional achievements possible. Your own success in the years ahead will continue to grow the reputation and impact of SMU. And for that, we thank you. So congratulations once again, class of 2026, and go Mustangs, or pony up if you prefer it. I'll now welcome President Hartzell back to the podium.
I was waiting for the whole Mustangs pony up thing. Thank you very much, David. We're joined tonight by faculty from every corner and part of SMU. Some are serving as ceremony marshals, all represent their disciplines with pride, and all mentor and celebrate and develop their students. For more than a century, SMU faculty have pushed boundaries, have sparked curiosity, and have shaped principal leaders. Their work is the foundation of who we are today. A university defined by excellence in teaching, by conducting research that matters, and achieving bold, real-world impact. I now ask SMU's distinguished faculty, both retired and current, to please stand and be recognized. Thank you, faculty colleagues. And now, to greet our graduates on behalf of the faculty, please welcome the President of the Faculty Senate and Chair of the Department of Sociology, Professor Ann Lincoln.
It's breezy up here. I hope I can hold on to my hat. Good evening. As President of the Faculty Senate and a university trustee, I stand before you representing the collective voice of SMU's dedicated faculty, the scholars, researchers, teachers, and mentors who have been honored to be part of your journey. On behalf of the entire SMU faculty, congratulations to each of you graduating today. Last year, in August, we welcomed the class of 2029 in McFarland Auditorium. They had just completed the first half of Rotunda Passage and walked beneath the oculus of Dallas Hall, following in the footsteps of generations of Mustangs before you. Yesterday, you completed the second half and recessed back through Dallas Hall in Rotunda Recessional. That passage marked how far you've come in such a short time on the hilltop. You have been a part of a community of learners who have challenged you and transformed you. Your faculty pushed your boundaries of understanding and pushed you to be open to discovery. You followed paths that led you to places you didn't expect to be going and made lifelong friends along the way. You know, last August, when I talked to those new Mustangs, I told them they just might meet their future spouse here. I don't think they believed me, but I bet some of you do. One of my favorite sayings goes roughly, "A society grows great when people plant trees in whose shade they will never sit." You are the trees we're planting here and now, and you will have a lot of firsts ahead of you. Tomorrow will be the first day of your life after college. There will be a first job after college. With all of the exciting firsts ahead of you, don't let this day on campus be your last. We look forward to celebrating all your future successes. Congratulations, class of 26. Pony up, go Mustangs.
Thank you, Professor Lincoln. Our commencement speaker tonight is a true Mustang. Many consider him to be one of the greatest to ever wear the red and the blue. Eric Dickerson came to SMU as a standout recruit and became part of one of the most legendary chapters in college football history, the Pony Express. Along the way, he earned unanimous All-American honors, set conference records, and finished as a Heisman Trophy finalist. He left zero doubt that he belonged among the very best in the game. He went on for an extraordinary 11-year NFL career, rushing for more than 13,000 yards, setting the NFL single-season rushing mark, a mark that still stands, and competing at the highest level year after year. Those achievements earned him a place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and on the NFL's 100th anniversary all-time team, recognition reserved for true legends. But more than that, through every chapter of his journey, Eric Dickerson has remained a true Mustang at heart. He stayed connected, engaged, and eager and willing to give back. His story is about talent and hard work. It's also about ambition, perseverance, and believing you belong on the very best playing fields in the world. Before Ford Stadium became what it is today, the Mustangs charged through the Cotton Bowl and at Cowboy Stadium, so Eric never had the chance to play exactly here during his SMU days. Tonight, we're fixing that. Welcome to Ford, Eric, and it's your turn to take center stage. Everybody, please join me in welcoming our 2026 commencement speaker, SMU champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer, Mr. Eric Dickerson.
First of all, thank you very much, Jay. Congratulations to the graduates of 2026. I'm honored to be here. Congratulations to your family, your moms, your dads, your grandparents, and all the loved ones that helped you get to this point. I want to thank a few people from the start. Jay Hartzell, thank you very much for asking me to do this. I'm very honored. I got to say that you have changed the concept here at SMU. Thank you for your leadership. But I have one problem, Jay. You went to Texas. You know I hate University of Texas. So I'm going to let you get away. You're a Mustang now, so we're going to give you that. I also want to thank some other people. I want to thank Carl and Peggy Sewell for their undying support for SMU. I didn't get my first car from the Sewells. I got my car from A&M, the Trans A&M, as people know, if you know about it. I want to thank David and Carol Miller for their insight, helping SMU get to the ACC. David and Carol, thank you very much, because this would not have happened if it wasn't for you and your leadership, so thank you very much. Also, Paul and Penny Lloyd, who stood by the program when it wasn't even fancy to do it. So thank you, Paul and Penny. Gary Weber for the end zone complex that we have here. Thank you, Gary. My friend Joe Beard, I played with Joe Beard for his support, and my friend Dick Anderson, who played here at SMU also. Also, Corky Campese, who fed a lot of us guys. We didn't have any food. We'd go down to Corky's, he'd give it to us for free. So Corky, thank you very much. My friend Salim Azwani and his wife Chandra, who own Texas Day Brazil. Salim, thank you very much. And also another friend of mine, Matt Fleeger, is a new guy that I met, SMU supporter. I'll see you in Cowboy in a couple of weeks, Matt, so I'm looking forward to that. Also, Gerald Ford and the family here, thank you for this beautiful facility. I mean, it's getting nicer and nicer every time you look up. And most of all, I want to thank Bill and Liz Armstrong for their leadership and always helping SMU and helping me with my foundation. Bill and Liz, thank you very much. You've become a very close friend and an ally of mine. And I've got to say this, I've got to thank our new coach, and not our new coach, our coach Red Lashley, for help bringing our program back to respectability the way it was once upon a time. I'll start off by saying this, you know, the SMU experience almost didn't happen for me. And I got to tell you because, look, I never heard of SMU. I hadn't. Matter of fact, they would send me letters. You know, when you were getting recruited back in those days, you get letters. You get letters from all the different schools, and I got letters. And I hadn't heard of SMU, but I did like the pony on the letter. I said, oh, the pony's kind of cool. It's kind of cute pony. I never heard of SMU. I was the #1 recruit in the nation. I was getting recruited by USC, Oklahoma, Texas, A&M, SMU, but I never heard of SMU. SMU is a school that, like I said, I just never heard of it. Where I really wanted to go to school, my mother knew it, was OU. That's where I went. I was a big Billy Sims fan. And I will never forget when Coach Twister came to my state championship game with his long, mean coat. I'm like, oh, man, that's Coach Twister, man. I'm going to get a chance to go to Oklahoma. I mean, that's how I want to go to school. He came to my house for a visit, for a recruiting visit. I'll never forget, he came in with his 5 coaches. My mother was really, really quiet. You know, she didn't say much. My mother was really, really smart. Really, I was adopted, so she's really my great-great aunt. She was older. And I have to say this before, my dad had passed away a year prior. And I'll say, my dad was the best man I ever knew. And I wish I could be more like my father. But anyway, so they come in, they give me the spiel about going to OU, and you know, I'm all in on it. When they leave, my mother says, I never forget, she said, you ain't going to school there. I'm like, Mama, wait a minute, hold up. No, you ain't going to school there. She said, you a Texas boy. She said, all these schools in Texas and you can't find a school in Texas? I'm like, and she said, first of all, that man's a liar, and I don't trust him. So, now think about that. You didn't committed to go to a school and mom called the man a liar. I'm like, well, okay, so now I've got to try to decommit. Along comes Coach John Robinson. He comes to my house. I see John Robinson from University of Southern Cal. I go to University of Southern Cal for a visit. I get a chance to meet my hero. The reason I played running back was O.J. Simpson. I met him, and they asked me, son, you yes, SC recruiting? I said, yes, sir. He said, really? I said, I'm a running back. I said, I had over 2,000 yards, and one day I'd like to break your record. He said, well, good luck with that, young man. I said, okay, well, thank you. But anyway, so now SMU comes around, and Ron Meyer comes. Never forget, Ron Meyer came, and he came to my house. I liked Ron. Ron was flashy. He had the Super Bowl ring, you know, and he was just the guy. You know, he was like one of us. And I'll never forget, my mother was talking to him, and he was saying, I could tell he was saying all the right things. He was talking about education, making you a good man. And look, Mr. Dixon, if I have a problem with him, I will call you. And I'm like, oh my God, don't do that. I most definitely don't do that. So I won't forget, he talking to me, he said, Ms. Dixon, you got anything here to eat? She said, sure. She said, let's go in the kitchen. They go in the kitchen. Now he puts on an apron. He's helping my mother cook. I'm like, oh, I'm cooked. You know, I'm gonna wind up at this school. As time went on, he talked to her, and when I won't forget, when he walked out, she looked at me, she said, Eric, that's the school I want you to go to. I said, Mom, but I don't know anything about that school. She said, Eric, I like that school, I like what he's talking about, that's where I want you to go to college. So, you know, like a good son, what do? You go to the school your mama wants you to go to. And I've got to say this much here, you know, and I'll say this, that, you know, when my freshman year came around, I struggled. I struggled as a player my freshman year. You know, I didn't have a great freshman year. You know, it was myself, Craig James, and we had a great recruiting class. Michael Carter, Harvey Armstrong, great recruiting class. But I struggled. I'll never forget, after my first year, I think we went 5 and 6. We won 5 football games. And I'm like, man, I'm used to winning. I'm splitting time. I didn't like that. But I think the thing that bothered me the most is that after the season was over, I saw an article in the paper. I don't know if it was the Dallas Morning News. And you got to think, when you're young, and that'd be anyone sitting out here, any of you young men or young women, you read something about yourself that says that you were a bust. He's a bust. We should take his scholarship. He played 2A football. He's not ready for this kind of football. It hurt. It hurt, but also at the same time, it motivated me. But I didn't get to the motivation that I was about to get to. I was motivated, but still, I'm like, okay, well, whatever, you know, whatever they think. So my second year, I come back, have a good year, have an okay year, have 928 yards. We go 9-3, but still, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. So after the season, I talked to my best friend, Charles Drayton. And matter of fact, I talked to my friend, Ephraim Lynch, who's here with me today. We talked about it just a few nights ago. I said, man, I'm going to transfer. I said, really? I said, I'm going to transfer. I want to go to Oklahoma. I said, really? I said, yeah. I said, you know what? I'm going to call Oklahoma. So back in, those days, in the room, you had the rotary phone, tick, 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 and calling. Operator, yes, can I help you? I said, can you please connect me to Oklahoma football? They connected me to Oklahoma. Okay, hold on a second. They picked up, yes, Oklahoma football. I said, can I speak to Coach Switzer? Hold on a second. Send me to his secretary. And I don't know how I remember this lady's name. Her name was Susie. Hi, this is Susie, Coach Switzer's secretary. Can I help you? I didn't say anything. She said, can I help you? I hung up. I said, you know what? I'm going to wait till I go home. I'm going to talk to my mama. I'm going to tell her I want to transfer. So I go home, and I said, Mama, I want to talk to you about something. Now I'm going to tell you, my mother was really smart. She was book smart and street smart, but she was country smart because we were from the country. Like I said, 2,000 people. So I said, Mama, I want to talk to you about something. She said, what? I said, I want to transfer. She said, transfer? What you talking about, boy? I said, I want to go to Oklahoma. She said, what? She said, boy, sit your ass down. She took a piece of paper and put a line down there. She put SMU other. She didn't put it, she said other. She said, okay, Eric, let me ask you a question. Are you playing at SMU? I said, yes, ma'am, I'm playing at SMU. Are you playing? I said, yes. Okay, that's a check. Are you guaranteed to go to Oklahoma, you're going to play? And I mean guaranteed. I said, that's an X. She said, you have a scholarship at SMU? I said, yeah, I got a scholarship. That's a check. And I mean guaranteed you're going to get a scholarship at OU. Well, that's an X. She said, Eric, let me tell you something, son. She said, look, go back to SMU. She said, go back there. She said, let me. And it's funny how your parents and grandparents see things you don't see. She said, son, she said, go back there. You could be there first. She said, look, Oklahoma has their Billy Sims. Texas has their Earl Campbell. USC has their OJ. He said, Eric, you could be there first. They'll be talking about your class forever. She said, what's the kid's name? I said, Craig James. You got the Craig James. You got Harvey Armstrong. And my mother knew nothing about football, but she knew these names. They got Michael Carter. She said, go back there and start something, and they will be talking about you forever. Okay, boom, I do go back. Was I happy about it? No. I got to say I was not happy, but I went back. Once again, my friend Charles Drayton, I'm talking to him about it, and I won't forget what he said to me. He said, Diggs, let me tell you something. He says, football is the ultimate team sport. But when you're young, men and women, you're young, it's all about you. It's all about what you want to do. It's about me. Same thing in football. When you're running back, it's not about me getting the ball. It was about me. And he said, Eric, man, you cannot be so selfish about it. He said, Craig can play, and Craig could play. He said, y'all have to be able to share the football. He said, and I'm gonna tell you another thing. He said, if you as good as you say you are, if you as talented as you say you are, you will do more with less carries. And I'll never get my reply to him. I'm gonna show you how good I am. And so our junior year came around, had over 1,400 yards. We won, we're 10-1, lost one game to Texas, 9-7 on 3 50-yard field goals. The next year, boom, come back again, up for the Heisman Trophy, had over 1,600 yards, 17 touchdowns. And I gotta say this much here, my friend Craig James, who's here tonight, I've known Craig for 47 years. Craig, I wanna say thank you for making me an unselfish player. Thank you for our teammates, our team that we had, because let me tell you something. People still, to this day, I was in the airport coming over here, people talk about the Pony Express like it was yesterday. And let me tell you, that's been 40-something years ago with the Pony Express. And I gotta say, the name is kind of cool, ain't it? The name is cool. Pony Express, we delivered the mail on Saturdays, and that was it. And then it's okay, after my college career, I had a good college career, but still I'll say this much here. As you are students out here, young men and women, you'll have the naysayers. Because like I said, I came from a small town, City, Texas. And people will say, oh man, he can't play no college. He did all right in college, but it's the pros. He can't do it in the pros, and I'm telling you. I heard that. You hear that from people in your hometown, you hear from other people, you read it in the paper. Did the Rams make the right pick by choosing Eric Dickerson? They should have took a defensive player, they should have took that. Never forget, we scrimmaged the Dallas Cowboys. This is one of the reasons I do not like the Dallas Cowboys. We scrimmaged the Dallas Cowboys, and Tom Landry tells my coach, John Robinson, John says, Eric, I got something to tell you. I'll tell you after the scrimmage that Coach Landry said about you. I'm like, okay. Now, before the scrimmage, I'm nervous. I mean, handshaking, I'm forgetting plays, but when all said and done, I had a really good game. And he said, I got to tell you, first he said that I think you made a mistake drafting that Dickerson kid. He said, I don't see him playing long. I see him maybe about 2 or 3 years. He runs upright, he runs tall. You think he's fast, but he's not. He said, it's not going to last long. After the scrimmage, he said, you might be all right drafting that Dickerson kid. He might be a good pick. So, when the season started, I had a great rookie season. I did. I had over 1,800 yards, 20 touchdowns, broke the record that it stood for 8 years. That record still stands today, 44 years later. 1,800 yards as a rookie and 20 touchdowns. Now the next year comes around. Next year comes around, and look. One thing about football, pro football, is they call it the sophomore jinx is what they call it. And I was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. If you're on the cover of Sports Illustrated, that ain't a good deal. I started off kind of slow, but I'll say this much here. Started off slow, but I picked it up. Matter of fact, that year, I ended up with 2,100 yards, 2,105 yards. That's still a record that stands to this day. And I'm very proud of that. But let me tell you what, that preparation started right here at SMU, right here. It's nothing that just, I had the talent, but I had to most definitely make it work. I had to work, just like you out here. They don't give away diplomas. They don't, hey, you get a diploma, No, it don't work like that. The same thing in football, it does not work that way. My old coach had a saying, he said, it was the 5 P's, son. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And I believe that. Just like you graduating here, you did everything proper to be graduates of SMU, to be right here while you're sitting. I mean, that is not an easy task. My path was different from your path. My path was a football path, and I thank God for that. I had a chance to do a lot of things in football. Like you said, one thing is I got the gold jacket. It's only 387 Hall of Fame players that have ever played in the National Football League to wear a gold jacket. I came to this school, and I'm one of those guys that wear the gold jacket. And I praise God for that. I give God the glory for that. But in closing, I want to tell you one thing. My dad had a saying, and I'll never forget this. He just said to me all the time, and I didn't get it at first. And how I got it was, I was cutting the yard one day. I jumped up, cut the yard, cutting grass, and I want to go play with my friends, come back, put the mower up, and this is a big yard, a push lawnmower. He says to me, I put it up, he said, what are you doing? I said, I'm done. He said, turn around, look at that grass. I turned around, I looked at it, it's patches everywhere, patch here, patch there. He said, go out there and cut it again. I said, okay. He said, what did I tell you? I said, I don't know what. His saying to me was, all that you do what you might. Things done by halves are never done right. I'll tell you, the class of 2026, you did it right. Just like my dad said, all you do what you might. Things done by halves are never done right. Congratulations to you. May God bless you and pony up. And know this much here, you have a Mustang family forever. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, Eric. We are lucky you are a great son and even a greater Mustang. I'm Rachel Davis Mercy, and I serve as Executive Vice President and Provost of SMU. Eric, thank you so much for being here with us tonight and sharing your heartfelt message. It's inspiring for our graduates to hear from a fellow Mustang who's reached the very top of his field. And I'll admit it's motivating for us too, but you still get out of a chair better than I do, even after football beat up your body. For all of our guests and for every Mustang here, your story is a powerful reminder that success comes from showing up, putting in the work, and staying true to who you are. Thank you. It is now my great pleasure to welcome a truly distinguished leader in higher education, Raj Chetty. Raj is one of the world's most influential economists studying inequality and mobility. His research has transformed how scholars, policymakers, and communities understand the forces that shape opportunity in America. At SMU, we champion research that matters, work that is driven by big questions, grounded in principled values, and carried far beyond the university in the service of others. We cheer loudly for scholars like Raj. His work advances knowledge by changing conversations, cutting through complexity, and making a real difference in people's lives. President Hartzell will now confer the honorary degree with the assistance of Dedman Trustee, Professor of Economics, and Department Chair, Dan Milnett.
Dr. Raj Chetty is one of the world's most influential economists, studying economic opportunity, mobility, and inequality. As the William A. Ackman Professor of Public Economics at Harvard University and Director of Opportunity Insights, he has transformed how scholars, policymakers, and communities understand the forces that shape opportunity in America. Chetty earned both his bachelor's degree and PhD in economics from Harvard University. He joined the faculty at the University of California, Berkeley in 2003. In 2013, he returned to Harvard as the William Henry Bloomberg Professor of Economics, where he was granted tenure, becoming one of the youngest tenured professors in the university's history. From 2015 to 2018, he served as a professor of economics at Stanford University, but then he returned to Harvard in 2018 as the William A. Ackman Professor of Public Economics. In 2018, he became one of the founding directors of Opportunity Insights. He began serving the National Bureau of Economic Research in 2003 as a faculty research fellow and has been director of the Bureau's Public Economics program since 2020. With more than 60 academic publications and a number of works under preparation, Chetty is a prolific scholar. His extraordinary scholarship has been recognized with numerous honors, including a MacArthur Fellowship, the John Bates Clark Medal, awarded to the economists under 40 whose work has made the most significant contributions to the field, and Harvard's George Ledley Prize for research that benefits humanity. For his groundbreaking contributions to the study of economic mobility and his dedication to advancing knowledge that can improve lives and strengthen communities, SMU proudly confers upon Raj Chetty the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters.
Thank you very much, Dan. And thanks, Raj. It's really a pleasure to have you here. With all of the fact that we're doing this tonight, this is a special moment for us to confer this degree upon Raj. Thank you. So, we're proud to have you now join the ranks of SMU's Distinguished Honorary Alumni. I want to say welcome to Mustang Nation. We're now going to hear a special music selection, SMU Forever, again by today's vocalist, Taylor Hendricks.
Thank you, Taylor. We are now about to begin the conferral of the degrees, and I'll admit for all the things we get to do tonight, this is what the provost really shows up for. Dean Janan Jaiwik Ramaraja will certify degree candidates from the Dedman College of Humanities and Sciences.
Degree candidates in the Dedman College of Humanities and Sciences, please rise and remain standing. Graduates of Dedman College, I am honored to share this moment with you as this important step forward. Through your studies across the humanities, social sciences, and natural sciences, you have gained the habit of mind that defines a liberal arts education: intellectual curiosity, critical thinking, and a commitment to engaging in complex questioning with rigor and creativity. These are enduring strengths. Now, I promise not to mention AI. However, let me just say that the skills you have learned not only prepare you for your future professions in a rapidly changing world, but also for lives full of purpose and meaning. Provost Mercy, on behalf of the faculty of the Dedman College of Humanities and Sciences, I certify to you that the candidates standing before you have completed all of their academic requirements and are entitled to receive their respective degrees.
it doesn't happen quite yet, you may be seated. Because next, Dean Brian Stone will certify the degree candidates from the Perkins School of Theology.
Will the degree candidates in the Perkins School of Theology please rise and remain standing? Perkins graduates represent callings and vocations ranging from pastors to musicians, from chaplains to leaders of nonprofits, and from religious educators to social activists, and everything in between. Deeply rooted in faith traditions, but leaning into the future with innovation, openness, and curiosity, our graduates are already leading with a center and purpose, and we can't wait to see how they will change the world. Provost Mercy, on behalf of the faculty of the Joe and Lois Perkins School of Theology, I certify you that the candidates have completed all of their academic requirements and are entitled to receive their respective degrees. Please be seated.
Dean Michael Harris will certify degree candidates from the Annette Caldwell Simmons School of Education and Human Development.
Will the degree candidates from the Simmons School of Education and Human Development please rise and remain standing? Simmons students have an impact on and off campus, and Provost Mercy, you don't have to take my word for it. Ask the University of Miami what happens when you mess with Simmons students on this field. Today marks the beginning of something larger than a degree. Graduates of the Simmons School leave SMU prepared to shape lives, strengthen communities, and lead in moments that demand both vision and action. In sport organizations, in classrooms, and in communities, they will help others grow, solve problems that matter, and create opportunities where they are needed most. That responsibility is significant, but these graduates are ready for it. Provost Mercy, on behalf of the faculty of the Simmons School of Education and Human Development, I certify to you that the candidates standing before you have completed all of their academic requirements and are entitled to receive their respective degrees.
Thank you. You may be seated. Now, Dean Sam Holland will certify the degree candidates from the Alger H. Meadows School of the Arts.
Degree candidates in the Meadows School of the Arts, please rise and remain standing. You are the artists, performers, scholars, designers, communicators, and creators whose work reminds us what it means to be fully human. As graduates of the Meadows School, you leave this campus not only with incredible talent and discipline, but with the power to move hearts, shape culture, and imagine new possibilities in a rapidly changing and diverse world. As AI transforms nearly every dimension of society, the value of human creativity, empathy, curiosity, and moral imagination grows ever more essential. Provost Mercy, on behalf of the faculty of the Meadows School of the Arts, I certify to you that these candidates standing before you have completed all of their academic requirements and are entitled to receive their respective degrees.
Thank you, Dean Holland. You may be seated. Now, Dean Todd Milborn will certify degree candidates from the Edwin L. Cox School of Business.
All right, let's go. That's an awesome showing. I don't think I need to say it, but will the degree candidates in the Cox School of Business please rise and remain standing? Today marks an exciting moment, not only for the Cox School, but for the future of business leadership everywhere. As organizations across the globe look to SMU graduates to shape what comes next. And I know our graduates are more than ready for that responsibility, because they will lead with integrity, innovate with purpose, and approach every challenge with curiosity, empathy, and confidence. All while bringing energy, as we just saw, and joy to the teams, organizations, and industries they will influence. Our Cox graduates represent an extraordinary collection of talent, ambition, and character, and we are proud to celebrate their achievements today. Provost Mercy, on behalf of the faculty of the Cox School of Business, I fully certify to you that the candidates standing before you have completed all of their academic requirements and are fully entitled to receive their respective degrees.
Thank you, Dean Milburn. You may be seated. Now, Dean Jason Nance will certify candidates from the Dedman School of Law.
Degree candidates in the Dedman School of Law, please rise and remain standing. We are proud of our Dedman School of Law graduates at a time when legal education has never been more important. Lawyers play a critical role in supporting our democracy, strengthening our justice system, and upholding the rule of law. Our graduates will serve not only as attorneys, but also as leaders, problem solvers, and advocates for those in need. As they begin this next chapter, we are confident that they will lead with integrity, compassion, and a steadfast commitment to justice, and hopefully, finally stop answering every question with, "It depends." Provost Mercy, on behalf of the faculty of the Dedman School of Law, I certify to you that the candidates standing before you have completed all of their academic requirements and are entitled to receive their respective degrees.
Thank you, Dean Nance. Now, Dean Nader Jalili will certify degrees from the Bobby B. Lyle School of Engineering.
Will the degree candidates in the Lyle School of Engineering please rise and remain standing? We are in an exciting time for the Lyle School as we celebrate the century of engineering excellence. Industry leaders around the world look to SMU for inspiration, and they look to our graduates for digitally transforming what comes next. Our graduates are first-year ready, representing the most resilient, AI-influenced, and experiential collections of engineering talent produced by any school in the country. Provost Mercy, on behalf of the faculty of the Lyle School of Engineering, I certify to you that the candidates standing before you have met all of their requirements and are entitled to receive their respective degrees. Please be seated.
Thank you. Thank you, Dean Jalili. Now, Dean Robin Poston will certify degree candidates from the Moody School of Graduate and Advanced Studies.
Candidates for all master's degrees, please rise and remain standing. I know you've probably already stood once, but you can stand again. That's how important you are. All master's degrees candidates. Master's students, on behalf of the Moody School of Graduate and Advanced Studies, congratulations. An advanced degree from SMU establishes your expertise in your chosen field and grants respect and recognition both here in Dallas and around the world. We are excited to follow your journey as you continue to contribute to our world in so many ways. Provost Mercy, on behalf of the faculty of the Moody School of Graduate and Advanced Studies, I certify to you that the candidates standing before you have completed all of their academic requirements and are entitled to receive their respective degrees. Please be seated. Now the candidates for all doctoral degrees, please rise and remain standing. Doctoral students, on behalf of the Moody School of Graduate and Advanced Studies, congratulations. As recipients of the highest degree in your fields, you take your place as leaders in those fields, and you are respected voices in our society. We are excited to see how you shape our world for many years to come. Provost Mercy, on behalf of the faculty of the Moody School of Graduate and Advanced Studies, I certify to you that the candidates standing before you have completed all of their academic requirements and are entitled to receive their respective degrees.
President Hartzell, it is now my honor as Executive Vice President and Provost to confirm that all of the degree candidates presented tonight have been certified by their deans and are now entitled to receive their respective degrees.
Will all graduates please rise and prepare to celebrate? By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, and upon recommendation of the faculties, I hereby confer upon each of you, upon completion of all requirements of your curriculum, the appropriate degrees with all the privileges and rights pertaining thereto. It's official. Congratulations. For all undergraduates, our newest alumni and bachelor's degree candidates, it's now appropriate for you to move your tassel from the right to the left, and for those of you that have a class ring, to turn your SMU class ring from inward facing to outward facing as our newest alumni. The SMU ring is a symbolic link that reflects the spirit and pride connecting generations of alumni, past, present, and future, all of whom are Mustangs for life. Congratulations. You may be seated. At this time, Ambassador Gene Phillips, class of 1976, will offer some remarks on behalf of the 50-year class, followed by Will Leathers, class of 2026, and president of the student body. Ambassador Phillips.
Thank you, President Hartzell. You did it. Congratulations. I'm here on behalf of the class of 1976. You might think we're the class of 1776 if you look at us, but no, that's not the case. We came to SMU 50 years ago, and we want to welcome each of you, the graduating class of 2026, as proud new members of the SMU alumni family. It is today where your journey truly begins. After today, you will live out your individual legacies, which will be grand, as principled leaders that were shaped at this great university, your university. And we charge you to remain connected to our alma mater by coming back and giving back, because in 50 years, which will go by really fast, you will stand where we are, celebrating friendships that have withstood the test of time and welcoming the class of 2076 to the SMU alumni family. And now I would like to invite my classmates of 1976 to stand and be recognized, our Golden Mustang class of 1976. Class of 2026, the tradition has been passed to you. Congratulations, and may God bless you on your way, and keep in touch with SMU. Thank you.
Good evening. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Will Leathers, and I've had the honor of serving as the student body president here at SMU this past year. I want to start off by thanking all of you for coming here, for President Hartzell, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, families, friends, and those watching at home, and of course, the incredible class of 2026. How are we feeling? Tonight feels different, not just because we're in Ford Stadium for the first time for a graduation at night, but because this moment reflects how far we've come as a university and as a class. This stadium is where we celebrated big wins, like beating Miami and storming this field together. And I also remember the last time TCU came here, it also wasn't very pretty, so we'll take that. But this win is for all of us. When we arrived 4 years ago, SMU was already special. But the truth is, the class of 2026 didn't just experience SMU, we helped shape it. We leave this university better than we found it. We were here as SMU stepped onto the bigger national stage with the move to the ACC. We've seen its reputation grow across the country to the point where when we say SMU, people don't ask where it is anymore. But what matters more than those milestones is how we contributed to them. It was in the classrooms, the student organizations, the late nights, the traditions, and the everyday moments where we built something lasting. We raised the standard, and we carry that responsibility forward. Because leaving a place better than you found it doesn't stop here. It becomes a way of life for us. And as we look ahead, something shifts. For the last 4 years, we've measured our lives in semesters, in final weeks, in move-in days, and breaks. But starting tomorrow, we measure our lives in years, in our careers, our milestones, and in the moments that we get to build for ourselves. That can feel uncertain, but it is also what makes this so exciting. What gives me this confidence is this very group. I am incredibly proud of the class of 2026, proud of what we've accomplished, proud of how we've supported each other, and proud of the way we've represented SMU. And I can't wait to join the long line of alumni who came before us, knowing that we are adding our own chapter to that legacy. So tonight, celebrate this moment, celebrate each other, and as we leave the stadium, remember that same energy, ambition, and pride that helped us leave SMU better than we found it. It is the same energy that we now carry into this world. Congratulations, class of 2026. We did it.
Thank you for that message, Will. I want to say thank you for your leadership and partnership over this year, including your instrumental role in helping us move this inaugural All-University Commencement to be here in Ford Stadium tonight. You and all our brand new alumni really are simply the best. Tonight, a new SMU tradition was born, and you, the class of 2026, will always have bragging rights. And I also want to personally certify and thank this class for also protecting the tradition of a 6 a.m. graduation day gathering at Marley House. Well done. Graduates, before we close, I want to give you just a few remarks, not only as your president of this great university, but also because you are my first SMU graduating class. It's been an honor and a privilege to be with you here on campus. While I know that the university has changed you, you should know that you have left a mark on this 115-year-old university through your ideas, through your leadership, your service, and all the ways you showed up for one another. The hilltop is better because you chose to grow and to learn here. As you take your next steps in life, you'll face amazing opportunities and truly demanding challenges. Lean into both. Take risks, dream boldly, and remain curious. Never stop learning. I can tell you that the few regrets I have in life almost always stem from saying no to something rather than saying yes. You'll have some tough times, but when you do, know that you can rely on the mentors and the lessons that you gained here, the principled values you developed and nurtured, and all the wonderful memories you made. Plus, as receiving a diploma from SMU shows, you know how to do hard things and how to finish. That said, you're not close to finished. Don't let anyone tell you that college years are the best years of your life. They were great, yes, really great. But the best is yet to come. I hope you will always remember and believe that. And know always that you are welcome here at home and that you belong here. You are now part of a global network of Mustangs who have your back. Remember, the past 4 or 3 or 5 or maybe some of you 6 years are just the beginning. Your SMU education is an investment in your life, career, and happiness that will play out over future decades. This investment will keep paying off, especially if you stay connected. We want you to come back often and find ways to help others as you've been helped. Now, graduates, will you please rise one more time tonight? You are the leaders of a new generation. This is your moment to seize. The wind is at your backs. Extraordinary things happen here on the hilltop. And the ability to make the extraordinary possible is now part of who you are. You are a Mustang for life, and we can't wait to see what you will do next. Congratulations, and Godspeed.